welcome to the Space Junkie, the channel where we explore the latest and greatest in space technology and exploration. In today's video, we are going to talk about Starship, the giant reusable rocket and spacecraft that is being developed by SpaceX, the private space company founded by billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk. We will also discuss how Starship will revolutionize the future of the space industry, enabling unprecedented missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. And we will also give you an update on the upcoming test flight of the Starship system and what it means for SpaceX and the space industry. But before we dive into the details, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps us out a lot. Thank you. So, what is Starship and why is it so important? Well, Starship is a two-stage super heavy lift launch vehicle and spacecraft that is currently under development by SpaceX. The Starship system consists of two main components: the Starship spacecraft, which is the upper stage and can carry both crew and cargo to various destinations in the solar system, and the Super Heavy booster, which is the first stage and provides the initial thrust to launch the Starship into orbit. Both stages are powered by clusters of Raptor engines, which use liquid methane and liquid oxygen as propellants. Both stages are also designed to be fully reusable, which means they can land back on Earth after each mission and be used again, reducing the cost and increasing the frequency of space launches. The Starship system is the most powerful launch vehicle ever developed, capable of carrying up to 150 metric tons of payload to low Earth orbit in a fully reusable configuration, and up to 250 metric tons in an expendable configuration. To put that into perspective, that is more than twice the payload capacity of the Saturn V, the rocket that took humans to the Moon, and more than 10 times the payload capacity of the Falcon 9, SpaceX's current workhorse rocket. The Starship system is also the tallest rocket ever built, standing at 121 meters or 397 feet tall, which is about the height of a 40-story building. The Starship system is not just a rocket, but a spacecraft as well. The Starship spacecraft can accommodate up to 100 people on long-duration, interplanetary flights, and can also carry satellites, space telescopes, and other cargo to various orbits and destinations. The Starship spacecraft can also be configured for different missions, such as lunar landers, Mars landers, orbital refueling tankers, point-to-point transport on Earth, and more. The Starship spacecraft is also equipped with a thermal protection system, which protects it from the extreme heat and pressure during atmospheric re-entry. The Starship spacecraft uses a unique maneuver called the belly flop, where it flips from a vertical to a horizontal position, and then back to a vertical position before landing, using its engines and aerodynamic surfaces to control its descent and orientation. The Starship system is the culmination of SpaceX's vision to make humanity a multiplanetary species, and to enable the exploration and colonization of the Moon and Mars. SpaceX plans to use the Starship system to build a permanent base on the Moon, called Starbase, and to send the first humans to Mars in the mid-2020s, and eventually establish a self-sustaining city on the Red Planet. SpaceX also plans to use the Starship system to launch thousands of Starlink satellites, which will provide global high-speed internet access, and to offer point-to-point transport on Earth, which will allow people to travel anywhere in the world in less than an hour. But the Starship system is not only limited to planetary missions. It can also be used for other purposes, such as creating space stations, habitats, and platforms in orbit and beyond. Here are some of the possible future applications of the Starship system that could revolutionize the space industry and exploration. Space Station. The Starship spacecraft has a large internal volume of about 1,000 cubic meters, which is more than the volume of the International Space Station. This means that the Starship spacecraft could serve as a space station itself, or as a module for a larger space station. The Starship spacecraft could provide a spacious and comfortable environment for astronauts and researchers, as well as a versatile platform for various experiments and activities. The Starship spacecraft could also be configured for different roles, such as a laboratory, a workshop, a greenhouse, a hotel, or a factory. The Starship spacecraft could also dock with other Starship spacecraft or other vehicles, such as the Dragon capsule, to form a modular and expandable space station. The Starship spacecraft could also be refueled and resupplied by other Starship spacecraft or vehicles, extending its lifespan and functionality. The Starship spacecraft could also be relocated to different orbits or destinations, such as the Moon or Mars, using its engines and propellants. The Starship spacecraft could also be reused for multiple missions, reducing the cost and increasing the frequency of space station operations. In-orbit refueling involves launching a Starship spacecraft to a stable orbit around the Earth, where it will dock with another Starship that acts as a depot. The depot Starship will be filled with propellant by several tanker Starships that launch from Earth and transfer their fuel to the depot. This process will take about 6 months and require 8 tanker launches for each depot Starship. Once the depot Starship is fully loaded, it will rendezvous with the interplanetary Starship and transfer its propellant to it, enabling the latter to perform a trans-Mars or trans-lunar injection burn. In-situ refueling involves producing propellant on the surface of the destination planet or moon, using local resources such as water, carbon dioxide, and solar energy. It will then deploy a propellant plant that will use electrolysis to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then use the Sabatier reaction to combine hydrogen and carbon dioxide into methane and water. The methane and oxygen will be stored in cryogenic tanks and used to refuel Starship for its return journey. This process will take about 2 years on Mars, depending on the availability of water and carbon dioxide. By using these refueling methods, Starship will be able to perform long-duration, interplanetary flights with up to 100 people on board. Starship will also enable satellite delivery, the development of a moon base, and point-to-point transport here on Earth. The initial goal of the Starship program is to achieve orbital flight, and that is what the upcoming test flight is aiming for. The test flight will last about 90 minutes, and will involve several key events and maneuvers. The test flight will begin with the liftoff of the fully stacked Starship vehicle, which will use 33 Raptor engines on the Super Heavy booster and 6 Raptor engines on the Starship spacecraft to generate a thrust of about 8,000 metric tons or 17.6 million pounds. This makes the Starship system the most powerful rocket ever flown, breaking the half-century-old record held by the Soviet Union's N-1 rocket, which had a thrust of about 4,500 metric tons or 10 million pounds. The Starship system will then ascend through the atmosphere, reaching a maximum speed of about Mach 5.5 or 6,700 kilometers per hour or 4,200 miles per hour. About 3 minutes after liftoff, the Super Heavy booster will separate from the Starship spacecraft, and will perform a controlled re-entry and landing in the Gulf of Mexico, about 30 kilometers or 20 miles off the Texas coast. Meanwhile, the Starship spacecraft will continue its ascent, reaching an apogee or highest point of about 250 kilometers or 160 miles, which is considered the edge of space. The Starship spacecraft will then coast for about 45 minutes, completing nearly one orbit around the Earth, before re-entering the atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean, near Hawaii. The Starship spacecraft will use its thermal protection system, which consists of ceramic tiles and stainless steel, to withstand the extreme heat and pressure during re-entry. The test flight will be a historic and unprecedented event, and will demonstrate the capabilities and potential of the Starship system for future missions to the Moon, Mars and beyond. It will also be a critical step towards achieving SpaceX's vision of making humanity a multiplanetary species, and opening up new horizons for the space industry and exploration. That's all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please leave a comment below and let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on the Space Junkie.